It's one thing to train your dog when you're home alone with no distractions, things are pretty simple. It's another thing when guests are coming over. Sometimes it's hard to know what to do and how to help your dog be polite when guests are around. So I'm Amy from Baxter & Bella, and today I'm going to offer you tips and tricks on how to train your dog, especially when guests are coming to your house. If you haven't heard of us, we're an online puppy school. We offer classes, courses, one-on-one video coaching, or phone sessions with our team of professional trainers. We answer email questions, so check us out at Baxter & Bella. Today we are talking about helping your dog be polite when people come to your home. So, like I said, it's easier to manage your dog, train your dog, work with your dog when it's just you and them in a nice, quiet, calm, controlled setting. But as soon as people come over, that can be really exciting for your puppy. So first and foremost, we manage. I think it's our responsibility to help our dog be polite. It's not the job of my guest. So things I'm going to do with my puppy would be put them on a leash. So as soon as the doorbell rings or there's a knock at the door, I'm going to put my puppy on a leash, have some treats in a pouch, and I'm going to help my puppy focus on something besides that person who's at the door. Now, that's a great first step. Some dogs are going to need a little more help than that. Others will need less help than that. So you're going to kind of figure this out for you and your dog where you're at and where they're at. But mostly, if I have a puppy that's able to focus on a food reward, and I can lure them into a sit, or I can lure them into a down, and I can just keep dropping little treats on the floor or feeding them treats to help them stay focused, great. If that's too hard for my puppy, then another option would be to keep them in the next room with a baby gate or an exercise pen so that the puppy's not able to just run up and jump all over my guest. I want to be able to manage that situation. So what that would look like is my puppy's behind a gate or they're in a pen, and again, I'm just dropping little food scatters on the ground so that their attention goes to the ground. That sniffing will naturally relax them or help them to calm down. And then once those first initial 2 to 3 minutes are over of that guest arriving in your home, you'll find that your puppy can manage themselves. It's just those first couple minutes where it's really exciting. There's a new person, they have a different voice than you do, they smell differently than you do, so that really gets our puppies excited, and we want to help them manage themselves in those initial minutes. So another option besides the gate or the pen would be a leash. If my puppy can handle it, I'll put them on a leash and they can just sit by me or lay down by me. A lot of times an older puppy that's been through some stay training, some settle, relax training can do that, and they have the skills to be able to do that. So I might just have my dog on the leash and do some food scatters with them on the leash, making sure that they can't get to the person. So I'm holding the leash a distance away such that they can see the person, they can smell the person, but they're not actually able to go right up to the person, lick their legs or jump on them or do whatever it is that our dogs want to do when they see a new person. So once we get past the management part, we're setting our dogs up for success. I like to teach them a new behavior when guests arrive. So I invite my guests into the home. Maybe we sit down on the sofa to have a nice conversation. I train my dog to go to a mat. So I lure them onto the mat, get them into a down position, and then feed them treats while they stay on the mat, or just food rewards. Anytime I say treats, it's just either their kibble or something like a plain Cheerio. It doesn't have to be super exciting, but enough motivation that they're willing to stay on that mat and just chill out while we have a conversation. So I train them to go to bed is what I call it. Now we're going to work on this obviously before the guest arrives. This is not something that I would start brand new once my guest is already here. That guest is going to be level 4, right, of the training. So level 1 is let's just get the dog to do the go to bed behavior, practice them staying on the bed. I add in some distractions, we add in duration, we add in some distance, me walking back and forth and away from them. Once they're able to do that successfully by themselves, I'll actually practice with a family member. So I'll have a family member, somebody they know that's not super exciting, come in and join the training. So we'll do a little mock session where they are the guest. They join me in my living room, they sit on the sofa, we have a conversation while the puppy or the dog is practicing this go to bed behavior. The next level of difficulty would be to bring somebody over to my house who the dog already knows. It's not a stranger, but also doesn't live at my house. So you can see that they're a little more exciting than my family member. So that person will come over and we'll do another session where they sit on the sofa and I'm having my dog laid on their mat and they're getting rewarded for staying on their mat while we have a nice conversation. Step 4 would be to invite somebody to your home who your dog doesn't know. So it's a stranger to them. This will be exciting for them. And now that you've practiced this go to bed behavior, they know the rules of the game. They know they get rewarded for it. And let's see if they're able to handle it at this stage of training. Now, when people come to your home, you have usually 2 types. First, the people who really want to interact with your dog. They love dogs, they want to say hi, and that's totally fine. I just have a few ground rules. One is, again, I'm in charge of my dog's behavior, not the guest. So I'm going to ask my dog for a sit stay or a down stay or a go to their mat. And then once they're calm and they've settled down, I can say, okay, go say hi. And then the dog is welcome to go greet the guest. And at that point, if the guest wants to pet them or toss a toy for them, feed them a treat, that's great. The second type of person doesn't want anything to do with your dog. So you have a couple options here. One is if you know they're coming over, you can simply just put your dog in the other room with something to chew on, something that they love to keep them busy, a puzzle toy or something, or even just crate time is fine. And then when your guest leaves, you can bring your dog back out. Now the dog doesn't necessarily need to go in the other room as long as we are managing their behavior. So for that type of guest, I would definitely keep my puppy on a leash, and I would practice that go to bed training that we talked about and really have that down before you let your dog try to do that with this person who's not really wanting to interact with your dog at all. Having people come to our homes is a common occurrence, so it's really important that we understand how to manage and train for this scenario. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. We're happy to help you in these kinds of situations to know what to do and how to handle them. And follow us at Baxter and Bella for more tips and tricks.